This time on Marooned, I'm in Guatemala, in one of my favorite environments, the jungle.
It just feels incredible.
But lost and alone in this tropical wilderness,
Thick mass of vines and brambles.
I struggle to achieve basic survival.
I'm getting hungry now.
Come on!
After days with no food, I'm driven to desperate measures.
Some fluids in it.
And as I'm forced to face my deepest primal fears,
There is an enormous crocodile in there. Looks mean, doesn't it?
I discovered that the toughest battle
I am scared, I am lonely.
is always with yourself.
I'm quite nervous right now, and that's an understatement.
I'm in Central America, heading deep into the vast rainforests of northwest Guatemala. My destination, the heart of the Sierra Lacandon, a remote mountain region surrounded by dense jungle. And my first challenge is lying in wait for me on the beach.
That's quite a decent-sized crocodile, about 5 foot long. Okay, let's go. Thank you. See you soon. Right. That disappearing motor is the last I'm going to hear of any human activity for quite some time. I am quite literally in the middle of nowhere.
The river's probably polluted, and there's little else to sustain me here. Add the danger of crocs, and I need to get deeper into the jungle.
Okay, right, let's get out of the sun.
And as I move on, the reality of my situation becomes apparent. I've been dropped on a sandbar that's totally surrounded by water.
That's not an insignificant amount of water. That really is not. That changes things somewhat.
If I stay here, I'll starve. And if I swim, I risk a crocodile attack. Time to make a tough decision.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go in. Let's get the GoPro out. Back there, I saw a crocodile going into the water, and now, lo and behold, I'm going straight in here. So I just need to move across here fast. Not fun. I'm a very poor swimmer. Just need to relax. So well and good. There's crocodiles in here. That was, I didn't really want to admit it beforehand, but I'm a terrible swimmer. And it might not look much, but that's quite a significant amount of water for me to cross. Something about not being a good swimmer makes me quite nervous in water. Add crocodiles to that equation, and having just seen jaguar tracks as well to up the ante, I found that a little bit nerve-wracking. But I'm here, and the kit's dry, and I need to get out of this sun.
My first step is to scout the jungle for the perfect campsite, somewhere with fresh water and lots of food. The best way to orientate myself is to get to a high point, so I head uphill.
There's light at the top there. Crack on, Ed. Crack on. Looks like an area where I can get a view. Wow. That view makes it all worthwhile.
Well, that certainly sorts out the water issue. And with no lack of wood down there, I'd say I've found a great location for a camp. But it looks like I might have to share it.
There is an enormous crocodile in there. That is massive. That is somewhat disconcerting, I have to say.
On the plus side, where there's crocs, there must be fish.
Then that's the new plan, isn't it? Get down to the lake shore, build a home.
With this discovery, I'm convinced I can thrive here.
Oh my God, look at that. It's beautiful.
This looks like a sinkhole to me, created when a cave collapsed thousands of years ago.
With a lake this beautiful, why not create a house that overlooks it? String.
Perfect for tying off the crossbeams.
Okay, that's a solid frame, built in about 2 hours.
It's the rainy season, so I'm going to need to roof my shelter with thick palm fronds to keep me dry.
Right now, in this damp forest, when the sun goes and the clouds come and the rains fall and all of the forest floor is wet and everything feels wet and it's slightly cold, if I'm honest, and there's mosquitoes buzzing in your ears and the shelter's not finished and you're going to have to cower like an animal at the back of it in order to stay dry tonight if it rains.
The temperature drops sharply at night, and as the heavens break, I'm too cold and hungry to sleep. But a new day is a new start.
The sun's just cresting over the hills, and today I'm going to finish my shelter, make sure it's big enough to get fire in it, and then make my fire. If I've done both of those two things by the end of the day, finished my shelter and made a fire, I'm going to be a happy man.
Making fire in a damp rainforest is always tough. To increase my chances, I need to dry out the wood and kindling in the sun. And while that dries, I finish the shelter.
That took a lot of work, but it's just utterly essential, really.
I labour all afternoon, but I just can't get an ember of this damp wood.
So close. And relax, and relax, and relax. It is what it is.
As the skies open, it's game over. But at least my shelter will stop the firelighting kit getting even wetter. It's day 4. I've got water and shelter, but I haven't managed fire or food yet.
I'm up early this morning, just exploring around the edge of the lake, looking for maybe food sources, anything that I can find really. Down there. Just saw this glimpse of red, really, really bright red. And it's the abdomen of a tarantula.
This is a Mexican red-rumped tarantula, and it can deliver a nasty bite. But it also has another ingenious form of defense. It can use its back legs to fire a cloud of irritating barbed hairs into the face of its attacker.
Got it. I've got it. I'm going to stop its back legs and surely kill that. Oh, I've got a tarantula. Food. Haha. Yes. Okay. Indigenous people used to eat tarantulas. Literally put them in the fire, sear off the hairs. They're meant to be a delicacy.
I'm starving. So starving that a tarantula looks like a tasty meal. But to cook it, I need to get that fire going.
It is gonna work. It is gonna work. Come on!
The wood's been drying in the sun all morning, and as it's not raining now, this could be my moment.
Ooh. I think I might have one. Yes, I have. Haha! I didn't want another night without heat and light, you know? It's frustrating sometimes, it really is. Important to get the hairs off, I feel. You've never eaten a tarantula before. You can eat nettles, can't you, if you pass them through the flame, so tarantula legs I'm sort of working off the same basis. You can see the white, it's actually steaming. That's all right. That's not bad, actually.
Halfway through my time in the rainforest of Guatemala, things are starting to come together. I've managed to get fire, water, and a shelter too.
I'm gonna make myself a raft. I just figure you can't have something as beautiful and as big and majestic as this lake and not try and get out onto it, and I think that might open up fishing possibilities.
I begin searching for building materials, but I'm so hungry, I'm also constantly on the lookout for something to eat, no matter how small.
Okay, this little hole down here is perfect. I can see it's an active hole because
I put a bark string snare over the entrance, and it should catch whatever it is going in or out.
2 minutes that took.
The thought of a fish supper keeps me motivated as I drag a dozen hefty logs to the lakeside.
That's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. But basically that's ready to launch tomorrow. Just gonna go and check my trap. Gosh, how good is that? Right. Supper as it gets dark. Mouse on a stick. Okay, in for a penny, in for a pound. Do you know what, head's nice. That is tasty. Tasty little mouse.
It's day 6. My mission is to catch fish out on the lake and tap into a limitless supply of food. I'm going to try spear fishing. Before I launch, I set up my camera on the viewpoint. Seeing a croc again makes me wonder if this is such a good idea.
And it's just above the... It works! It works! It works! Right, keep an eye out for crocodile's head. Part of me is saying don't dangle your legs through here, kneel on the board because that looks mean, doesn't it? Just need a fish to come now.
After an hour out on the raft, I have to admit defeat. I'm back to square one. So I come up with a new plan.
This is actually an ancient Mayan type of fish trap. It just uses vines, and I'm going to lay them out on the floor and then sort of plait them into essentially it's a wicker basket.
The basket takes me the rest of the day, but it's potentially the key to being able to live here permanently. The people of Guatemala have used termites as bait for centuries. Time for some fishing, Mayan style. I put chunks of the nest into my basket.
There was a few termites that fell out from the basket. Loads of little fish started coming towards it. So in terms of little fish, it really does work. Hopefully that in turn will attract bigger fish. That was a big old fish that just came past then. I wonder if this might just work after all.
Suddenly, big fish are all around the basket.
It's in. Got a fish! Amazing.
It's a beautiful catfish.
Now I've got a needle that's tough enough. Hopefully you can see this, but I'm literally just gonna put a series of perforations down the belly. Incredibly tough skin. What a reward for all this time spent trying to scratch a living out of the jungle here. And eventually, the lake, the sinkhole, the entrance to the ancient Mayan underworld gives me this.
Look at that bad boy.
That's my first proper meal in more than a week, and suddenly I feel like a winner.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I do feel like it's my playground. Look at my feet. They are ridiculous. But who cares? Who cares? I'm cut, I'm muddy, my hands smell of fish guts and entrails. But I've got a full belly of fish. And my brain's working again. I can feel it, it's faster. It's utterly faster. Eat more fish. It's good for your brain. Good for your brain.
It seems fitting that this journey into the rainforest would begin with a fire and end with a fire. I decide to take my basket, my trident fishing spear and the raft, all the things I'd spent so much time making, and burn them in a ceremonial fire as a way of saying thanks.
I'm almost getting teary. This is ridiculous. I feel so much that this is the right thing to do. I know this is the right thing to do. Everything I've made, I give back. Everything of value to me, I've given. And the answer is gratitude. I think if I hold on to gratitude, that's the way to stay humble. That's the way to stay connected to everything.
After more than a week in the jungles of Guatemala, I can honestly say that I proved I can thrive here. I am ready to go home. I thought thriving here would be a walk in the park, but actually the jungle reminded me that survival is largely a state of mind. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful.